Hello, Michael.
Hi, Elena. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank
Cool.
you for having me today.
Of course. Thanks for speaking with everybody.
Of course.
Um, so you made the animation and the puppets and the artwork for the new video that I'm releasing today called Brilliant New Idea. And we've
Mhm.
worked together in the past. You did the video for Diu Diu Deng
Yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah.
And so I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about your work, how you approach it, your puppets and your animation, and how they all mix together.
Sure. So I've been like making the visual art, like painting, collages, animation, and also the puppetry. So it's all like different elements, but it's kind of like all same to me. It's just like a different form. So I think once I paint and then like a collage and then I kind of feel I want to make it move. So that's why like I make the animation, and sometimes like the movement is in form of the puppetry. So yeah, that's kind of like how all the materials are connecting each other.
Do you have anything to show us of some of the puppets that you've
Yeah.
made?
Um, so lately I've been working at home, so I can't like usually I make the big head mask and then wearing it and perform. But like these days I can't make the big stuff at home, so I make the small puppet. This is called Mr. Grumpy. So this is the puppet I made for the kids online show at La Mama. And I also paint like these paintings, and then I made like this house paint as well, and then I collage them on the computer, and then making like these guys like wearing these houses in those like heads. It's it's called the quarantine series. um and then also we can share the basic form for the animation we collaborating each other. So basically I paint and then print out and making like this type of collage. You can see like all the heads and like arms are kind of like separate, so I can just take the picture and then put on the computer and then like move the part by part. It's kind of like making the puppetry on the computer. So that's like the way I make the collage animation. So this girl is the main character of the Diu Diu Deng's video, but all the characters and background I made like this and then put in the same file. Maybe some of them you look familiar. These are animals and the dragons and you know those kind of stuff. And this time, I made the collage animation from some of the old stuff, and then I make the new stuff. Is a cow, and then sheep, and this is a tree, and yeah, like some of the like mountain and like the field. So yeah, those are the all animated on the computer.
That's so cool. And you created such a magical, like joyous world for the Brilliant New
Oh,
Idea video. And
oh,
I think
thank
it captures
you.
the song really well. So,
I mean, it's all like every time I'm so inspired by your music. So
oh.
as soon as I heard like the song, and then just like images like came up in my mind. So it was not hard at all. It's really like very enjoyable and then always inspired. So I really happy to make something with you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I'm just curious, how did you get into puppetry specifically? Because your work
Oh.
is so interesting in how you wear the puppets and move around.
Right.
How did you find yourself there?
Yeah, I actually like never learned puppetry or theater things like in Japan at all. So I came to US and then I learned the fine arts at the Pratt Institute as a graduate student, and then so I just made a paint and like collage and sculpture, and then always like wanted to make the daydream, like the weird dream, through by painting or collage and sculpture. But I actually miscalculate my the like what's the credit for the graduation, and then I realized I needed like one more credit for my graduation, and then I was like, what I should do, and then I found the puppetry class, and then it sounds really fun, and I feel like for only one credit maybe the puppetry class will be really like fun and easy, and then might be great, and then I just took it, and that's kind of like changed my like whole creation world, like because I realized um when you like on stage as a puppetry, like puppetry is the things like you moving the object and make it alive. So for me, like if I move the sculpture I made, or if I move the collage I make on the stage and then perform, that's the puppetry. And I realized that that's kind of like the really best way how I make the weird daydream on the stage. I learned the puppetry a little bit at the school, but I haven't like any trained the puppetry. So I just like, well, maybe, I don't know how to manipulate the puppet that much. So maybe I can be a puppet. So that's why I just make the mask and put in my head and just like, more manipulating by myself. Like when you put the mask on your head, you're no longer the human. It's like become an object.
That's so cool. You stumbled into it. That's the best, the happy accidents that happen to bring
I
us
know.
to
Yeah,
our
yeah. I
artwork.
just like I don't know if I didn't take the puppetry class, and I'm sure like I back to Japan immediately after the
Wow.
graduation. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
you never know what
Very,
happened.
very impactful. Well, thank you so much.
Of
Thanks
course.
for sharing your story and your
Thank you.
artwork and your beautiful video.
Oh, thank you
And
very
I can't
much.
wait to share it with people
Yeah,
all over the
so
world.
excited.
Thanks, Michael.
Of
Talk to you
course.
later.
Bye.
Bye.